Madness. Madness is the only way I can describe tonight's movie review. Tonight's film is Dead of Night, and this film came out in 1945. It is a British film, and it was made by Ealing Studios. Interestingly enough, I reviewed The Life and Times of Nicholas Nickleby, which was made by Ealing Studios, and that movie was directed by a Brazilian director, Alberto Cavalcanti, and Cavalcanti would be one of several directors who directed tonight's film, Dead of Night. And I could definitely see some techniques that Cavalcanti did in Nickleby and also in this. And man, he produced a maddening film, a film that really, honestly, I'll just start out saying now, if you have ever had some sort of, mental problems, mental issues, this film may not be the best one for you. I know I have struggled a little bit in 2020 with a little bit of mental health problems. However, I was able to get over it, thankfully, through, love and care and different ways. However, when I watched this film, I sort of relapsed a little bit, which kind of made me scared, honestly, to review this film. But I talked to a loved one, and she made me realize that, you're fine. Go. And so I thought, she's right. I'm going to go ahead and face my fear, and I'm going to review this film. Probably won't ever watch it again because I don't need to relapse again. However, this movie just really disturbed me. It disturbed my mind. So I'm giving a very honest review of the film tonight. So this film stars Mervyn Johns. He is a British actor. Everyone in this is British, and he was actually Bob Cratchit in A Christmas Carol, the famous 1951 version. And it also has Michael Redgrave. Those are the only two actors I'll reference. Everyone else, I don't really know. In fact, I don't really know anything much about any of these actors. All British cast. So, why did this film upset me? This film is sort of filmed in the style of a Twilight Zone episode, meaning it has several small stories in one to make one movie. Also, like Freak Show, or I don't even remember the name of those movies. It's not important, but this film, it starts out with a man played by Mervyn Johns, and he goes to a little farmhouse, sort of in the countryside, England. And he walks into a house and he sees a group of people, and he sort of thinks, where am I, or why am I here again? And he starts to recognize everyone's faces, and he's acting strange. And it's because he has seen all of their faces in his dream before, a reoccurring dream that he has apparently all the time. Now, he tells each person, I've seen you before. And this film, everyone sort of starts telling their own supernatural experience, because he got them discussing this topic by saying he's seen them before. So they each start telling their own experience with ghosts or with the paranormal. So the first story is told by a sportsman. He's a race car driver, and he tells about his car crash. Now, this story I didn't think was too scary. It didn't captivate me that much, but it's basically about him avoiding his own death because he saw like a premonition that he shouldn't get on a bus, so he avoided dying he knew something was up, so he didn't get on a bus where a busload of people died in an accident. That's not the one that bothered me. The next story was I really loved the next story. It was a Christmas ghost story with a young girl, and the group of kids, she's at a Christmas party, and they're playing sardines, which it really touched me because I played sardines all the time when I was a little kid with my brother and his friends. We would play sardines at nighttime. It was really a scary game because when you're the last person searching for everyone because everyone's found the person hiding, it's really scary. In fact, it's scary when you're the only one hiding at the beginning as well. But anyway, she sees a ghost, a little boy who evidently was murdered by his older sister, strangled to death. Just really messed up story. The next story is told by a beautiful woman, and this is the one that messed with my mind quite a bit. In fact, still trying to get over it. So after this review, I'll try to wipe myself clean of the film. And it's the story where she purchases a mirror, an antique mirror, for her husband's birthday. So she gives this mirror to him, and when they hang it on the wall, he sees something. He sees in the mirror, he's in a room, he's in like an apartment room. He sees in the mirror, it's not the room he's in, it's like another world. It's like he's in a castle or some grand place. And so he turns around, and of course it's his apartment or house. He looks in the mirror, he's in another world. So it's messing with his sense of reality and where he is. And even right now, my brain feels like it's on tight. And it just messed with me because for people with mental health, or you've had trouble with reality, it may mess with your thoughts. So he tells his wife, his soon-to-be wife, I'm going out of my mind. I'm seeing things in this mirror, and I could really feel his pain. And she basically says, you're fine, honey, you're fine. And it comes to the point where he's about to kill her because he has basically absorbed the evil spirit of the previous owner of the mirror. He's absorbed the spirit into him, and he tries to kill his wife with his hand, or with a knot. But she bashes the mirror to break the spell over him, which I'm happy there was a happy ending to that story. Because that means, we all can get over any problems we have, whether in the mind or whatever it is, your feelings, depression or whatever, because those are the true horrors of life, because it's true monsters, just things like that. So the next story was silly, kind of to lighten the mood of the film, and it was the golfing one where these two really British men are playing golf. One of them cheats in order to, because they have a wager, whoever wins this golfing match will marry this beautiful young lady. So he cheats. The other one commits suicide in the weirdest way. He just literally walks into a little pond and just drowns himself. It's funny but strange British humor. And actually the guy who kills himself, who turns into a ghost, was actually in a previous review of this Halloween Fest. He was the inspector in the hidden room. So I don't want to go into that story too much. It was kind of stupid. They didn't need it, in my opinion. And then we have the infamous Ventriloquist Scene story. And this was told by the sort of the psych, the professor, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever he is, and he tells about this ventriloquist. And this one was another one that just stressed me out, because it's another story about a guy who's just lost his mind, and he's lost his mind with his profession of ventriloquist. And I wondered, you wonder, was the dummy actually talking by himself, or was the ventriloquist just so crazy that he was amazing ventriloquist puppet master? So I don't want to go too far into that story because I want you to see this movie. If you have a clear mind, please see it. The climax of the film is crazy. I'll tell you the very, very ending here in a moment. But in the ventriloquist scene, you really do feel like you're just claustrophobic, kind of, because this guy's just going crazy. Sort of similar to the mirror story, but I do want to note when the ventriloquist turns alive into a man. Very creepy stuff for 1945, I have to say. So the final ending, so don't listen to this if you haven't seen the film yet. So we learn that the main character, Mervyn Johns, who's had the reoccurring dream, he wakes up. So it's one of those dream within a dream movies, very similar to Inception or Memento. Very thoughtful film, honestly. And because he wakes up and it's like all their dreams or all their experiences were inside his dream, inside his mind. And then he starts the whole thing over again because he goes back to that farmhouse in the countryside. And it's like an endless loop. So this movie can really play on your mind. I recommend not overthinking the movie. Or if that's your sort of thing, do it. But tonight's film, very, very creepy. Obviously, I say see it, but see it at your own risk. Dead of Night, good movie. Not one I'm up to seeing again, ever again. But let me know what you all thought of the film and what you all thought of this review.